Oh, starting off real hot today. What up? What up? What up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? We are here tonight to do some mock drafting, talking some football, free agency continuing. We got so much stuff going on. I'm going to go through the news in just 1 second. Right now, I got everything going on. I got a mock with guys waiting to go. They cannot wait. So, I'm going to make sure they get started. So let me set up the stage for everybody, make sure everybody in here is recognized as well. I'm going to throw that up there. Give me 1 second for everybody. There we are. Ooh, flawless. I like it. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here tonight. We're going to be doing a mock draft. We have a 12-team Dynasty startup mock draft. It's all, full PPR. So these guys are itching to go. Let's do it. All right. And we're off to a good start. Got new people in here tonight. So that's the whole point of tonight. We have a lot of new drafters in here. We only got one guy, just one guy. That's not new. We'll get to him in a minute. We got Tyler AD. Welcome, my friend. I've been drafting with him for the last few days. Great guy. Glad to have you here. Liam's daddy. What up? Glad to have you. The very own FF Tycoon. Love having you here, brother. Glad that you could make it. We got RHEC21. I'm hoping he shows up. He's the only guy that didn't get in or didn't let me know. He let me know like an hour ago he was ready or a half hour ago he was ready. So I'm hoping he's still here. So I'm hoping you're watching, hoping you're ready. Hope you're getting in there. I'm sorry that the clock's a little long. I do that for myself. Give me a couple minutes. I talk a lot and I don't really hear this. So, I just want to, give myself a minute. All right. We got Ryan PYN. What's going on, Ryan? Nice to meet you. Glad to have you here. We got J-Dub in the house. What up? How you doing? We got my man, Jesus Saves, man. Oh, man, this is a great guy right here. He's a vet. He's at home right now recovering. He's doing, he's just taking time and, we appreciate all you do, my friend. So thank you. We got King Leo Vaughn. What's up with the rock in the background? Love it. We got classic Mike right here, ready to go. We got Chupacabro. What up? I love it. The league. Love it. We got, I'm not even going to attempt, Auteto. If I'm wrong, I am incredibly sorry, bro. And then we got Michael X. What up? Another Michael in the group. What's going on? So we're starting. Like I said, this is our, I think, third or fourth mock draft we've done this season. We're doing it a little bit into free agency. We did the last one just after free agency started. And there's a lot going on. I mean, we had all the things that happened already. And from the last time we spoke, we saw the Devontae Adams trade. We saw Deshaun Watson sign with a new team, which I think everybody was a little shocked about. And yeah, so it is what it is. So we got Liam M in the house. Let me know, Liam, if you are Liam's daddy. If you are, welcome. I'm excited to see what you got. You already got Najee Harris started, so I love seeing it. Oh, we're up to me. That's why I had to put the good old earpiece in to be able to hear. All right. So, oof. Oh, we got Bryce Hall going early. Just telling the guys in the beginning, let's not have craziness here. I know this is a rookie, or not a rookie, a dynasty startup, but whew, I don't know if I should do it. I'm gonna do it. I had to do it. I don't like doing it. I don't like it. All right. So since we last were here, and that's why I didn't want to do it. Hoping that Javante would come back around for me. It didn't happen. That's okay. And I'm assuming Mike's going to go Cooper Cup, Tyree Hill. No, Swift. Interesting. Interesting. So last time we were here, and we haven't heard about this yet, the Tyree Hill trade to Miami. This is huge. Huge news. We're going to talk about all these things in a moment. I'm just going to list a couple of the things going on since we were last here. Matt Ryan got traded to the Indianapolis Colts. And then 2 minutes later, Marcus Mariota signed with the Atlanta Falcons. Upgrade or downgrade? I think it's a downgrade. Leonard Fournette signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, we kind of already all knew, that might happen. Next, we got Bruce Arians, retired from coaching, is headed to the, he handed it off to Todd Bowles, which is great. He got a 5-year coaching extension. He's still with the Bucs. He's just going to be in the front office. He just won't be, with the team, which is fine. But good for him. Many great years. He's a great coach. So, but it's sad to see him leave. And now it's to me, putting me in a very dire situation. Do I go wide receiver? Do I stick with Tyreek Hill? Do I go with Javonte Adams? Do I go Debo? Do I go with a running back here? Both are, Chubb being that, he's not a PPR guy. It's so hard to trust him. I'm going to go Adams. I haven't picked Adams yet. I usually end up picking, usually been picking Hill and then screwing myself by picking Waddle. So I'll go with him. Next, we had MVS. After Tyreek Hill left to go to Miami, we got MVS signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs also ended up signing Ronald Jones to a 1-year deal. That's kind of big. I mean, CH is there. Now it's going to be CH and Ronald Jones with possibly, Jerick McKinnon, and others. But I'm assuming Ronald Jones will probably get, first, second down work, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Next, we got Andy Dalton. He signs a deal with the New Orleans Saints. 3 quarterbacks on the roster. Yeah, we'll talk about that too. Robert Woods, a.k.a. good old Bobby Trees, he was ended up traded to the Tennessee Titans. Crazy enough, the next day that happened after we were here. So that's the news that I know about right now. There's not really much else going on. Anthony's reminding me, what up? Telling us, let's freaking go. Tyree to Miami. Don't worry, I never forgot. But let's have a couple discussions. So first, I figured why not have a conversation about the Andy Dalton, this Andy Dalton thing. So Andy Dalton gets signed to the New Orleans Saints. Now, as per Dennis Allen at the, during the NFL meetings last week in Miami, he mentions to reporters that Taysom Hill is now going to be predominantly a tight end. He said, I want him to be more of a tight end. I want him to, train more as a tight end. Now, I asked this question in our group, in our private chat. Make sure you guys check out the description below. There's an invite in there for our sleeper channel. We have all types of stuff going on in there. Sorry, I'm going to leave the chat away. But there's all types of stuff in there. Make sure you guys check it out. But we were discussing about what's going to happen to Taysom Hill. And honestly, we don't know. It's hard to tell what platforms are going to do. Last year, they said, he's going to be the quarterback. So what did they do? They changed him to quarterback. Okay, so now he's a quarterback and not, a tight end. Okay. So now that he's listed as, that he will be a tight end on paper, does that mean he'll be a tight end in fantasy? Will that be his position now? If he is, what's his value? How does that work? How, is he going to be worth drafting in leagues? If you're doing a dynasty startup, is he worth it? Is, if you have him now in dynasty, is he even worth holding on to anymore? Does he have value? He's getting paid like a top 10 tight end. Is he a top 10 tight end? It's a good question. From what I saw when he was on the field and he was the tight end of the group, he didn't do that well. He only had one game over 9 points. I wasn't impressed. I'm a huge fan of Taysom Hill. I've been pushing Taysom Hill from the beginning. I'm a very big, proprietor for him. I think he's a very talented player in all aspects of the game. I think he's an accurate thrower for the most part, for his particular, for a quarterback, he's not that bad. But he's just a downhill, he's a football player. He's just a football player. And for me, he's just always been there. I've always fought for him. But what do we do here? If he's going to be, if they designate him as a tight end, is he worth it? If he's a dual, what do we do here? That there's a lot of questions that are going to come. We're going to have to wait till a little bit closer to the season to find out where he goes. But that's something that I'm really interested in seeing. I have him in my Dynasty League. That's one reason why I brought it up. I'm kind of wondering myself, what do we do with him? How do we handle him? And, if he's even worth it anymore. Try to trade him away. What should I do? All right. Now it looks like it's my turn. I already went quarterback. I went running back, wide receiver. I was kind of hoping I had a running back to come back to. Ooh. So I don't have many that I'm happy with. Dobbins, I'm not a big fan of. There is Josh Jacobs, who I like right here. So we got a running back, wide receiver. We got Higgins, who I like as well. I don't know if he'll make it back around. QBs, Josh Allen's gone. I got Herbert here. You know what? This is Dynasty. I'm going Herbert. See what I can do after that. I don't do this often with this. I want to see what I can do here. I'm kind of following Tycoon a little bit. See how that goes. But, I just like to try some stuff out. Next thing that we're going to talk about is Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan got traded to the Indianapolis Colts. Now, for those who don't know, he also took the biggest, the Falcons took the biggest dead cap hit ever. I think it was $40 million, if memory serves me right. I don't think any team has ever tried to get rid of a guy and pay that much before. It's like, come on, you're trying to get rid of the guy, yet he's been on your team for the last, 12 seasons and has been your franchise quarterback. Way to go. Anyway. Now they bring in and sign Marcus Mariota. Golf clap. I don't like him. I mean, I'm going to get into a whole thing about Mariota in a minute, but really? Even you have Baker Mayfield, who I'm not the biggest fan of, but he's a lot better, in my opinion, than Marcus Mariota. And you have him sitting in Cleveland, and you're not willing to you were willing to drop first-round draft picks, 3 first-round draft picks, or, whatever the, equivalent was, for Deshaun Watson. You're not willing to give something, anything, whatever Carson Wentz was taken for, you're not willing to pay that? Really? It is what it is. All right. So Higgins didn't make it my way. Chupacabra's probably listening and heard I wanted him. I still got Jacobs as an option. I don't really like the wide receivers here, especially for a dynasty. I think I'm going to go Josh Jacobs. And from what I'm learning, I keep seeing a lot of the drafts that I'm doing, running back falls off the table quick. Running back has been something that has disappeared, after round 9. There's no one worth picking up. So, running back is scarce this year. Wide receiver is wide open. Look who it is. It's Patrick Lardo. What up? What up? Yo, what's up, guys? Just dropping in to say hi. It's been a quick minute. Can't wait till football comes back. Can't believe I won it all with the help of you guys. Patrick, I love hearing that. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys are, make sure you're commenting on YouTube for us. That would be greatly appreciated. We love to hear those types of stories. Let us know, that we got you a championship. Like we want people to know this. We're here. We're a hidden gem. I love it, but we want to grow. So please make sure you guys make comments on the YouTube channel, on the show, any show, don't matter. Just make sure you leave comments, especially if you won. We want to know. I don't care if it's good or bad, anything. Just make sure you guys comment. That's what we're here for. So I'm glad that we could help you out. So Liam's asking, who's got the best draft so far? So Liam, I'm not really looking. I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't really taken 2 minutes to look at it. The way, we do, one thing that we do during the season, mostly after the NFL draft, we're going to start doing, Friday night mocks as a, staple. We basically will do a Friday night mock, and then on Monday, the crew, Frank, Anthony, and Dustin, they will take a look at your particular draft. They will grade it. I will throw my 2 cents in there as well, and we'll get in there and they'll tell you what they think about your draft. So definitely check that out once we do it. I'm going to make sure you guys all get, invites to the channel, which I know I've invited about 90% of you. So I'll make sure I do that. But also, as of right this moment, if you had to put a gun to my head, who do I like the most? I'm liking what Chuba's doing. I like the Javonte with Aaron Jones, Cooper Kupp, T. Higgins. I'm liking the start. This is, like I said, this is a dynasty draft. You're looking for a little bit of youth and a little bit of, vet mixed in together. I'm liking that. I'm not minding King. King Leo's looking okay. Liam, I'm liking your team a little bit. I like Harris. I'm a little low on Barkley, but you got him at a decent price, so I'm not worried about that. I'm a little worried about Deontay Johnson with Trubisky. I know Trubisky can do okay, but I'm still a little out on him. I think Ben made him who he was, and if you trade everything, well, Ben played like crap last year, but Deontay ended up staying in the top 20, so can't go wrong there. Kyler Murray, not bad. I like him. And you got him a little late, which is good. He's definitely fallen a little bit after a couple trades out there. And Terry, I'm still unsure of, but I do think Carson's a little bit of an upgrade, so that might help him as well. So I like your team so far. You're doing what? You're doing just fine. Patrick, yeah, I got you guys, but I'm about to rock out for the night. Have a happy Easter, Patrick. Have a wonderful Easter. Have a great time. Glad to see you. Can't wait to see you again. Always a pleasure to have him. One of my biggest fans on the Sunday morning show. Always enjoyed having him there. Liam, let's go. Like I said, liking the team, liking your decision making. So, okay, we got a Giants question. I like this. Me and Patrick are big Giants fans. That's kind of how we get the the Sunday show going. Real quick, how do you feel about the Giants adjustments? I mean, it is what it is. Gettleman left us in a shitstorm, so Schoen has to make do, I guess. But again, signing injuries. They signed tight end friend, Washington guy, was hurt half the season. Oh, the Ricky Seals-Jones. Yeah, I think he's really more of a depth piece. I don't think Ricky Seals-Jones is not the tight end. He is not the answer at tight end. I like what they're doing. I like what Sean's doing. I like the O-line being built, with free agency. He's made like 6 free agent O-line picks, which I'm really liking right now. Considering we didn't have anything in the beginning. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get my picks in. I think I can get away with this one. I'm surprised by this one. Cool. Oh, look who it is. It's Refry Guy. Good old Frank. What up? What up? What up, Frank? How you doing, brother? Yeah, I know you're illiterate typing. Don't you worry, my friend. It's okay. We're from New York. I got you. Well, you're from Jersey, but yeah. Anyway, so 6-0 linemen like it. I don't mind the Matt Breida pickup. Ricky Seals Jones is just, we're just trying to get the lowest value at any position at this point. It doesn't bother me that they signed a QB, but Tyrod is really there for guidance and help. I don't think he's there for anything more. I think they just have the same skill set to run certain teams and stuff. Like I think he's more of just a vet that can be helpful. I don't think I think he'll challenge Daniel Jones. I think it was a good idea. I wanted them to bring in somebody to challenge him, someone that could be a starter, just to be like, hey, this is your last chance. I like it. I'm a little nervous where they're going to go in the draft after picking up O linemen. In free agency, I'm still hoping they go O line in the draft. There's a lot of talented O linemen and D linemen in the draft. I really like Jordan Davis. I love Trevor Penning. I hope he's available at one point. Overall, I think that this is a good build your depth, to go forward. So we'll have to wait and see. Patrick saying they need to do what they did with Eli. They signed Warner, so Eli learned from an elite veteran. Daniel Jones had one season to learn off Eli. Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I was kind of happy when they signed Tyrod. I think Tyrod is a serviceable quarterback. Oh, Darnell Mooney and Judy going off the board where I kind of wanted them right there. That's okay. I had my ace in the hole waiting for me, hiding deep down in these rankings. That's okay. I don't mind taking him a little bit earlier than most. I don't care. Do I? No, I do care. No, I'm going to wait. I think he's going to be there. I think he's going to be there waiting for me. All right, Patrick, have a great night. Have a happy Easter. It's all good. We will see you soon. We hope to get you in some drafts come this year. Come Friday Night Mocks. Just reach out. My handle is below, I think. Maybe. If not, it's MHERR23. It's at Sleeper. So check out the Sleeper app. We're using it right now over here. So give it a try. It's great. And yeah. So reach out to me there and we'll get you in some drafts. That's how I got all these guys right here. Sorry, I gotta remember. I put them on the computer screen over here, but yet I point over there, and I gotta switch it over one day. Anyway, after speaking to Patrick, we're going to get back into the good old Falcons. So they signed Marcus Mariota after they let go of Matt Ryan. Okay. They tried for Deshaun Watson. Okay. They no longer have Calvin Ridley for the year. Yeah. They don't have a few other people as well. Oops, sorry, let me get rid of this. And who is their top wide receiver right now? And please, and I will tell you who they signed. They definitely just signed somebody, but he's still lower end guy. So if anyone is watching right now and can tell me the starting wide receiver group, at least two, and not Cordero Patterson on their team as of right now, I don't know what I'll do. I'll just be, impressed that you know it. But can anybody tell me right now who those people are? Who is the starting wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons at this moment? Anybody? Anybody? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait an extra minute. I'm going to take a sip of my beer. It's Friday night. I want to see if anybody right now can tell me who is the starting wide receiver right now, not Cordero Patterson. Okay, Michael Couture. You get points for that. Very good. He says Frank Darby, Zacchaeus Pitts. Yes, they just re-signed Zacchaeus. Well, I think they signed Zacchaeus. He's a free agent, restricted. Liam goes, Kyle Pitts. It is Frank Darby. You are correct. Frank Darby is their only guy with Cordero Patterson, and they just signed Auden Tate. For those who don't know, Auden Tate played for the Cincinnati Bengals for a long time. He's a big dude. He's like 6'5", 225. Like he's a big human being. And he's not a bad receiver. But I mean, come on. You have no receivers. Now, there are a few receivers left in free agency that are available. So they have Jarvis Landry, Will Fuller, AJ Green, Cole Beasley, T.Y. Hilton, Sammy Watkins, Emmanuel Sanders, and Julio Jones. Julio Jones is still available, believe it or not. So Michael Couture drafting from the 12 here in the draft, by the way, just focused on the sleeper app. But I appreciate this stream and mock. Mike, welcome. Glad you can make it. Glad that you are on here helping us out. I'm liking the team so far. Not bad. Swift. I'm not a big fan of Dobbins. Not my thing. Not a big CeeDee Lamb fan either, even after Amari Cooper left. And it's not just because I'm a Giants fan. It's a lot of different reasons. I don't know anything about who is this? Won't let me show it anymore. I don't know who Greg Willis is or G Willis, whoever. I don't know most of the rookies, so I'm already at a disadvantage. I didn't really pay attention to this class. I just know they're not that good compared. A lot of these guys, to me, aren't first day starters that are going to be impactful, like Waddle, Jefferson, Chase, like those guys. Like, yeah. Cooper, really like Judy, like what you're doing so far. Can't wait to see what you finish with. So I appreciate you checking everything out. So like I said, you got a bunch of veteran receivers that you haven't even reached out to. Now there was a report that apparently they reached out to. Oh, good. My sneaky pick is still there, and you know what? I'm going to pick him up now because otherwise he just would have gotten picked up. So my thing is that you still have Jarvis Landry and the Atlanta Falcons. Apparently, there was a report that came out that they offered Jarvis Landry, AJ Green, and Leonard Fournette offers because they were under the impression they might get Deshaun Watson. So the Watson deal falls through. He goes to Cleveland, but none of these guys are signed yet. It just doesn't make any sense. They have nobody. And I understand that you might draft someone, but you guys are too high, and you have Mariota. Don't you think you might want to go for a quarterback or somebody? I mean, I don't think any of the quarterbacks are that great in this draft, but somebody other than having Mariota there or going for a top wide receiver or something like that, like that might be the way to go. But I'm just on a podcast. Personally, I think that AJ Green would be a really good fit there. I think he's probably the only one out of this group that you can consider as a wide receiver one for a team. I think the rest are really just decent puzzles to fill in depth and little spots here and there. Cole Beasley is just more of a slot. Jarvis you can throw in that. I don't think Will Fuller is anything special. I think he's too much of an injury risk. Sammy Watkins and Samuel are both kind of fading. Julio's in the same boat too with his injury history. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's back to me. I think I think I already went with wide receivers. Kind of have to go with the running back here to get some depth. Let's see what they got at wide receiver. I mean, Michael Thomas is there. I'm not a big fan of him. Got Renfro still sitting there. You know what? I think I'm going to go with Tony Pollard. Yeah. I'm going to probably get yelled at. That's okay. So, Tyler Davis. What's going on, Tyler? Oh, this is our first number one pick in the draft with at the 101 as a Panthers fan, I am loving the offseason that Atlanta is having. It hopefully saves us from being at the bottom of the NFC South. Fair point. Fair point. You just hope that Sam Darnold can hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey without him breaking his leg or something. Like honestly, that's all you can hope for. What you can really hope for is the first 3 weeks of last year for Sam Darnold to be every week. That's your hope right now. I want him to be that way because, to be honest, they drafted Terrace Marshall, who I am a big fan of. I drafted him. I like him, but yet can't do anything because they don't have a quarterback. And Sam Darnold is the best thing they got there. I mean, they don't have anybody else. PJ Walker is nothing. They don't really have. I mean, DJ Moore just got a ton of money, but yet he can't do anything because Sam Darnold can't get him the ball. So, I agree, man. It keeps you guys out of last place, but keeps, I think the whole NFC South kind of, is gonna just have to go through Tampa, and I think Tampa just has a stranglehold on it. Like, there's nothing they can do. So it is what it is. The Panthers. So Michael says the Panthers and the Falcons passing on Fields last year is gonna haunt them. Yeah, I think so. In a little, in a small way. If even Evan Neal and I can't pronounce his name, Ickham, are off the board, I want Mikael Willis. Oh no, you guys should be drafting him. I honestly think that he's going to you guys I think you guys, if memory serves me, are at 8 or 6. Yeah, I know you guys are either before or after the Giants at one point or another in those top, in those 4 picks. So yeah, you guys should be drafting him. I like him. He's the one quarterback out of this group that I like the most. Not just because he's actually decent at playing football, but it's because he's actually a decent person. And I know that, that whole thing where he gave clothes off, gave the homeless guy clothes and someone caught it. Like, good for him. That's a great thing to see. It's a good attitude to have. I know a lot of teams are going to look at that and be like, holy crap, like, this is great. Michael agrees. But honestly, I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. I don't think Kenny Pitts is anything special. I think he's the smartest of the group. I think he has the better, awareness of where to go. But I don't think I watched the combine. He doesn't have that thing. Like I watched Justin Herbert in the combine. He looked like a stud. Like, I just don't see it with this guy. I don't see it with any of these quarterbacks. They don't look like anybody that is going to be that guy. They're not going to be Joe Burrow. They're not going to be Kyler Murray or, I don't know, that Mahomes. Like, they're not going to be those guys. So this year is kind of a wash. Next year, if you're in Dynasty, get all your picks for next year. That's what I'm going to suggest. Screw the year. Just trade all your picks. Get decent, value for your picks. Get some vets that you like, and just wait till next year. Just wait. So back to good old Mariota. I mean, okay. So first, you don't have wide receivers. Okay. I think you got back Mike Davis. I got to double check that, but I think you signed him. You signed Quandre Olson. Okay. Yeah. They signed somebody else too. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it is what it is. It doesn't matter. And it wasn't anything significant. So this is the thing that I don't understand. The Falcons want to go with a guy that has not thrown for 4,000 yards ever in his career. No, Russell Gage left and went to Tampa Bay. So I know he ain't there anymore. So you have Mariota, who has never passed for over 3,500 yards. He's never thrown for 4,000. His best year is 2016. 16. Does anyone know how long? Oh, that's right. 6 years ago. In his second year in the league, that was his best year with the Tennessee Titans. And you want to tell me he was a better choice than Baker Mayfield? Okay. Here's the thing that I don't understand. As a Raider, you know what he did? Nothing. He did nothing. He literally ran the ball for 80 yards. That's all he did. Literally ran the ball for 80 yards in a full season. He did not throw the ball. And if he did, I think he threw it twice for 100 yards or something, or less than 100 yards. And I think it was only a 50% completion percentage. I think he was 2 for 1 or 1 for 2 or something like that. It doesn't matter. He's not a quarterback that he used to be. So I don't understand where people are having this whole situation. Like, people are thinking he's going to be something special. Like, he's not. I'm sorry. So if you're a Falcon, oh, Jesus, no. Oh, it's okay. His name is Jesus. Let's just be clear. So I don't know. I don't think he's someone that you can build your franchise around. Oh, it's my turn. Look at that. All right, so I have a couple options here. I have a couple of running backs that I like. I'm not too heavy at running back. I'm a little light at wide receiver, but I do think that there is a good amount of talent left that I can pick up scraps for. I think Devin Singletary is a great late round. He's a great late round guy in my opinion. I think he's someone that people should be taking a look at. Now, this is before the draft. If they end up taking, running back, second day in the draft, that might change my opinion a little bit. But I'm a big fan of Devin Singletary in that offense. So, all right. So now that we've talked about how Matt Ryan leaving the Falcons affects them, let's talk about how that affects the Colts. Honestly, I think this is an upgrade. I mean, I know Wentz and Ryan aren't the best, but honestly, I think it's a huge upgrade for him. All right, now it's my pick. Gotta go wide receiver here. Do I go with Steady Eddie with good old Tyler Lockett with Drew Lock? No, can't go with Brandon Cooks. Not a big fan of Bateman. Do I go with Woods? Do I go with Kadarius Toney coming back from injury? Do I go with Kenny Galladay? I think I'm going to go with Toney. Go with the youth. I like it. It's a homer pick. It's fine. You guys can give me crap later. But how does this affect Matt Ryan going? How does it affect the Colts? Now, honestly, I think this really helps them. I think that Matt Ryan's more of a pure pocket passer than Carson is. I think the biggest loss. Thanks, Liam. I appreciate it. Liam said, had fun, love the channel. You got a sub. I appreciate that, my friend. That's what I'm here for. I'm hoping that we can keep you going, help you win your league. We'll be doing tons of drafts, so don't worry. I'm going to keep you in mind. So don't be shy. Reach out to my DM. I will, make sure to, keep you in mind for all these drafts coming up in the next few, after the end of this month. So thanks so much, man. I appreciate that a lot. So here's my big thing about Matt Ryan going to the Colts. Now, I think the Colts got an upgrade altogether with Matt Ryan. I think that the loss of key offensive linemen are going to be a little bit of a factor this year. They still have Ryan Kelly. They still have Quentin Nelson. They're the key, center. They're probably the best guard center combo in the league. They had some decent depth last year, but they lost their right guard to the Giants. They don't have a viable right or left tackle. So I think that they're going to have to work on that in the draft, or they're going to have to do something. But I do think that this does help Jonathan Taylor a lot more than I thought it would. Originally, I was a little bit nervous about that. Oh, he ended up leaving. Oh, that's okay. So for me, I think this helps. It definitely helps Taylor. It helps Michael Pittman, but the Colts are in the same situation as the Falcons. They have Michael Pittman, which is great, but they also have only Paris Campbell. They lost Zach Pascal. He ended up going to the Eagles, if memory serves me right. So honestly, I think that they should be looking into guys like AJ Green. I honestly think that they should go for Cole Beasley and or AJ Green. I like them a lot. I think that they could really help. I really like the re-signing of Mo Alley Cox. He is incredibly underrated. I really do like him a lot. So once the team gets settled and everything kind of fans out, I know that I said stuff about Adam Troutman last year. I think a lot of people did. I wrote that. But I really do think Mo Alley Cox has an opportunity to be one of those late round guys to do well. So he could be sneaky. We'll wait and see. Next, we are going to talk about, the sad news of Bruce Arians retiring from the NFL. Like I said, he's leaving the Buccaneers to Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is getting a 5-year extension, so I think Bowles was happy with that as well. In my opinion, I think Todd Bowles is a lot better of a defensive coordinator than he is a head coach. I think he took on too much when he went to the Jets, and if J-Dub was here, I would ask him to talk about it because honestly, he's a Jets fan. He would tell you, honestly, I just didn't see it. I think he had too much on his plate. So I just didn't see it. But if Bruce Arians is staying around and at least being in the office, maybe that will help him. They let go of Ronald Jones. They kept Leonard Fournette, which I don't know how I feel about that. You drafted a guy to be a guy. Why not keep him? All right. Let's see what we got here. So, ooh, he's sitting there. Ooh. I'm sorry, everybody. I got a little lost there for a moment. There we go. So Michael Couture, Bowles was the only head coach to make a rookie show improvement by the end of the year. IGS. Yeah, no, I understand that, but he isn't dealing with a rookie. So I don't care about his impactfulness on the rookie. For me, it's the concept of being a head coach in general. There's a lot involved. It was his, decision making on the field. It was how his demeanor in general. Like, he's a good dude. Don't get me wrong. Like, everybody's pretty happy with who he is as a person, but he's just very boring, in my opinion. He's a good guy, good defensive mind, did very well. I don't know, man. Like, I don't see him being a great head coach. I think this is Brady just going, I want a head coach that doesn't tell me what to do. So, Michael Couture going, he got 1 year to show his head coaching skills with a rookie Darnold. That's all. I also think he's taking over for Bruce Arians because, no, I agree. I think it's because Arians is he's too, I wouldn't say opinionated, but he speaks his mind. He'll tell you to shut the hell up. Like, that's what he does. Todd Bowles just kind of just sits there. Like, I get it to a point. Like, I know this is part of Brady, but it that's the thing I hate about Brady. Like, I'm not a Brady fan in any shape, way, or form. I give him his credit where it's due. He's, he earns my respect and the concept that he's done so well. Granted, I don't know, how well, but it is what it is. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. All right, enough about Bruce Arians. We're going to move on. My next topic that I wanted to bring up is the biggest news of all. Tyree Hill moving to the Miami Dolphins, getting traded for a buttload of picks, but it don't matter. It don't matter. You know why? Oh, wait. Michael Couture going, ironically, it's kind of the reverse of Gruden Dungy situation. I'll stop. Fair. I'll give you that. I can give you that. So we're going to talk about Tyreek Hill for a minute. Going to Miami Dolphins for a buttload of picks. Now, here's the funny part. Miami didn't lose out because they still have they still have stuff. So, oh, Michael's on the channel for too long and missed his picks. Oh, my bad, brother. I hope you got your pick in. That's the hard part of trying to do both here, man. I have to run both, but at the same time, it's to get everybody to watch it. It's one of those things that's tough. I try to get everybody, not just you guys in the thing. I try to grab everybody I can. So it's all good. Um, that's why I make this a minute and a half to give everybody a minute, especially if you're in the thing, so that everybody can jump in. So like I said, back to Tyreek Hill. Let's go back. He Miami kind of got him for a steal in a way. I mean, they still have first round picks that they can use next year. They have picks in general, so I don't think they're really worried. So I think they're pretty happy. Soon after Kansas City signed MVS. MVS is now with Juju Smith-Schuster, Mecole Hardman as their wide receivers. Now, let's talk about the effect that it has. I did. I was about to take Willis anyway, so I'm just glad it didn't auto. No worries, brother. I'm glad you were able to stay and draft with us. Believe me, this is great to have. Chuba, get in there. No. That's okay. All right, I got Alan Lazard. That's worth it. All right, my turn. I have to do this, right? 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 Yeah. I did it. Anyway, so let's see how this affects Kansas City. Now, Kansas City, of course, this kind of hurts Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't kill him, but it hurts him. MVS is not Tyreek Hill. Juju Smith-Schuster is not Tyreek Hill. Mecole Hardman is like half of Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill light, if you will. So honestly, is that something? I mean, was it worth it for one to move on from? If it wasn't, then what you have Patrick Mahomes signed for the next 10 years. He has one of the biggest contracts out there. Why would you want to do that to your team and take away a good passing option like Tyreek Hill? Now, Juju's young, MVS is young. I get it. Now, we all know that this is going to go through Travis Kelce. That's an already known. So who's next in the pecking order? Who from Travis Kelce, who's number 2? Honestly, I think it's Juju. And here's why. Juju to me is more let's take a second. Tyler Davis asks, do you think Trevor will end up being better than Fields and Mack in the future? With the three of them on the table, I think Trevor is my third choice, not because of the talent, but because of the Jags. Okay. And that's a fair assessment. Honestly, I don't disagree with you. Before everything happened at the beginning of last season, I was more I started turning towards Mac Jones as my first option and then Trevor as my second. I don't really like Fields after what I saw. Like I was biased, well not biased, but I was kind of turned away by him, when we were going through the preseason. I just didn't like what he had. So for me, it's Mac Fields or sorry, Mac, Trevor and Fields. So I think Mac has a better career ahead of him, but I think him losing Josh McDaniels is going to hurt him more than people think. Now, they built the line. They did a couple other things. They kind of made things work out for him a little bit. They didn't give him a receiver. No, they did. They got, who did they just pick up? Who did the Patriots just draft? Or not draft. They picked some guy up that I remember was better than Jacoby Myers. Who did they pick up? I'm going to look that up right now. My bad. And if you guys know off the top of your head, please let me know. But I remember they made a move to pick up a wide receiver. No, it wasn't Ty Montgomery. They did pick him up. Who was it? They re-signed James White, Matthew Slater. I guess not. I thought they picked up a wide receiver. I guess I was wrong. But they don't really have a wide receiver, so doesn't matter. They have Jacoby Myers. I love Jacoby Myers. Really love him a lot. But like I said, I think Josh McDaniels leaving is going to be the problem here. I think that the offense did well. I think he did well with Mac Jones and developing him in this first year. He still has a lot of growing to do, but they also have to add some good pieces. So I think they might address that in the draft. So Tyler said, I saw a report where they wanted to get both Jameson and Mechie from Alabama. If they can do that somehow, I think it would be great. Yeah, I mean, if they can do that, I can definitely see Mac Jones being a better option moving forward. But like I said, I don't know. I know why you asked that question. You went with Mac. Good for you. I picked up Tyler. I picked up Trevor Lawrence. I like what the Jags did this year, and adding Peterson. They added offensive weapons. They added a couple linemen to kind of help out. I think the Brendan Linder, him retiring is kind of a big in my opinion. I think he's one of the better centers in the league. So here's where I was talking about where there was a big drop off. There is literally nobody on this pile of garbage that I want. You know what? I'm going to do it. Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack today signed with the Houston Texans. Just for those who don't know, that's why I was laughing. So Michael Couture goes, any other team would have been criticized for spending like New England did last year without any real results from the offense, in my opinion. Okay. That's a fair assessment. I mean, they didn't really have a ton of results at the end of the year. I mean, they were still kind of mediocre at best. They spent a lot on defense, which they needed. The wide receivers, they didn't do much. They thought the two tight ends would do well, even though Hunter's the better option. So I just want to say we're done. So thank you to everybody that came in and drafted. Tyler, thank you for doing both. Michael, thank you. My 1 in 12s, thank you. Liam Daddy, who was here and left, thank you again. I appreciate it. FF Tycoon stepping in there, helping me out. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. RHEC21, thank you for coming and joining. I will reach out to you later. Ryan PYN, thank you so much. J Dub, what up? Thank you so much for joining this. Had a good conversation with him as well. Jesus saves. He saves me. He saved me in a couple of mocks that we did before. King Leo Vaughn, what's up, brother? Thank you so much. Koopa Cabro, thank you again. I know I'm not going to get his name right. It's okay. Team 11, thank you. And Michael, once again. Michael, this was really fun. I appreciate you setting all this up. Not a problem, my friend. Like I said, we are going to be doing this after the NFL draft. Once things kind of settle a minute, we're going to be back here every Friday night. It's going to be either myself or our guy, good old Rasta, Anthony, if you see him in the chat. He will be here. He will help out. We're going to do the best we can. I'm going to set up as much as I can, do these live. We're not going to, just do them. We might do a few that we're not going to do live, but for the most part, we're going to try to do these things live. Just so that, it's great to have, that you're viewed on a thing and you can show your friends, which in turn, we would like you to send, show everybody else and spread the word. That's what we're here. Tyler going, thanks for setting it up. Always down for a mock, as I'm sure you've been able to tell in the last couple days. Yes, I've seen Tyler in almost every mock draft that I've done. So it's great to see you. Thank you for coming by, Tyler. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to stay here for a few minutes until we have nothing to talk about, honestly. I have all night. Well, not all night. Normally, for those who haven't seen the show before, I'm going to keep this up for a couple minutes. If you guys don't want it there, that's fine. I know that I don't have the prettiest face, but it's okay. For those who don't know and who haven't seen the show, we used to do this. I used to every Friday night during the season, me and Anthony would be up until 4 a.m. For me. So this is not late for me. This is early. But I hope we don't have to go that late again. I know me and Ant will talk about that at another point. But we will definitely be running mocks. We're either going to be doing them non-live, where I'm going to send, a bunch of people, get you guys in there, have them graded the next day, or I'll be here live because I want to be. If I can be here, I will be here. I mean, I do have things going on in my life, of course. I don't want to make you guys think that I'm just sitting around doing nothing all day. Today I wasn't. Shout out to my wonderful girlfriend who's working tonight. Good luck. She's a nurse. Have fun. She is always in the trenches there. So I'm very happy with that. Happy that she's working, but at the same time, missing her very much. Can't wait to see her tomorrow. Otherwise, let's keep talking football. So Tyree Hill, moving on. We already talked about how it affects the Kansas City Chiefs. Great. Okay. So we know that Juju's probably going to be the next guy up. I think after that, it might go Mecole. I think MVS might be at the bottom of this totem pole. I understand MVS probably got the most money out of this, but at the same time, I still don't think he's going to be used as a Tyreek Hill type guy. He is not to me, he's not that type of player that, his skill set is more 9 route down the field. So I don't know if I don't think this is going to help anymore. I think all it does is open up the bottom for Juju. But that's about it. So we'll have to wait and see. Of course, this helps Tua immensely. Tyreek Hill, anyone, this would help him. Jalen Waddle being there, it's great. I think that it helps and hurts at the same time. I know it sounds weird. There's many mouths to feed, of course. I think that Devontae Parker will move on. I unfortunately think they're going to trade him to the Falcons just because they don't have anybody, or the Indianapolis Colts, which is my hope. I'm hoping the Colts. But I think this still helps him, and here's why. You're still pulling pressure away from him. I think it kind of makes him the two guy, or the outside guy, which I think he does well. But I think he's a better slot receiver, in my opinion. I think he can do better in the middle, in the middle of the field and closer to the line. So I think they're going to do their best to make everything run through. We saw what McDaniels did in San Francisco. I think that he can use Waddle. They want to use Waddle like Debo, but he's not built like Debo, so you have to make things work a little bit different for him. Little passes out to the flat and stuff like that. I think this will be a huge help for Tua in many ways. I think that this will also help out guys like Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert, who they just signed. I think that the RPO underneath is going to be very helpful, and I think that it's going to be used over and over and over again. And that's because, honestly, Tua is not a horrible runner, but at the same time, it's going to open up everything. They're not going to have boxes full every time. So I really do think that this helps the team more than it hurts. So that's just my opinion about it. Let's move on. And the last person that I have to talk about, which, like I said last time we spoke, Robert Woods was traded to the Tennessee Titans. Now, this comes after the Allen Robinson signed with the Los Angeles Rams. How did this affect things in Tennessee? So I think in my opinion, Robert Woods is a better fit than Julio Jones, and here's why. Beyond the injury risk. Now, I know that Robert Woods just tore his ACL, but ACLs are like spraining your ankle. You can come back just as good from that. Medicine has gone. Medicine is way better than it used to be in 10 or whatever year that Adrian Peterson had it, and then everyone drafted him in the third round, and we're really happy. So honestly, I think him coming back is, I think him going to the Titans is not a horrible thing. I think that with Brian Tannehill and AJ Brown, I think this will only help AJ Brown. But we'll have to wait and see, man. I mean, I've never been a big fan of AJ Brown in general. He's kind of like the Rob Gronkowski of wide receivers. And the reason why I say that is because Rob Gronkowski used to only play like 12 games, but he would be in the top 4 or 5 of his group because he would score 30, 40 points in his, the 12 games. Like he was an animal. So I kind of see him that way, where he's going to disappoint you every few weeks. He'll get hurt for like 3 and then come back and, go off. But I don't like that. Like for me, I can't survive with a player like that as my number 1 of all things. Like if he's my number 2, okay, I'll deal with it week to week. But hold on, let me just. Here's our mock draft that's up here. Take a look at it. It's not bad. I like the teams. I think everyone did a really good job drafting. I don't think anything is overly, crazy. I think the hardest part to do these types of drafts before the NFL draft is tough because we don't know where these guys go. It's all based on the talent. So a guy like Breece Hall getting drafted in the first round at the 1-7, it annoys me a little bit because we don't know how this kid is going to be, and we don't know what team he's going to be on. He could be Trent, Richardson for all I know. He could be that guy that's only there for a couple of years and, does nothing. I understand the talent. I keep hearing wonderful things. I didn't really see anything spectacular in the combine, in my opinion. He just, like we'll see. I think it's more the team he goes to, the coordinator he's connected to, the team, the offense that he runs with. Like that will be the deciding factor for me. But in the 1-7 is a little high for me. Hopefully his ADP goes down, and everything kind of works itself out. He's the only guy I keep hearing about. I've heard about Cook's brother. He's okay. I heard he's a decent pass catcher. I've heard a couple things about some other rookies that I don't really know. Spiller, and who's the other guy? Jameson. I heard a couple things about for the wide receiver for Alabama. I know he tore his ACL in the championship game or something like that. I've heard about these guys, but like I said, I didn't hear anything spectacular. None of these guys really stand out to me, so I haven't really paid attention, and that's my own fault. I got to do some research and double check these guys, especially. I mean, my rookie draft for our Dynasty League is August. We do things a little differently. We're in a salary cap Dynasty League, so it's a little bit different. We want to know where everybody is instead of drafting them before they go somewhere. That's just how we are. But it is what it is. But yeah, here's our team. My team I like a lot. I got Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, Justin Herbert. I got Josh Jacobs, Michael Carter, Keenan Allen, Courtland Sutton, who was my nice sneaky late pick. I got Tony Pollard and Devin Singletary as a little bit of depth. Kadarius Toney and Jabril Davis with Trevor Lawrence and Marlon Mack just for the fun of it. So I'm going to take this down real quick so that I can actually, you guys, so you can see my pretty face right there. How's everybody doing? Glad to see everybody. But yeah, back to what we were talking about before about AJ Brown. Honestly, I've just never been a fan of him. I can't get past certain things about him. He just, for some reason, has never just, he doesn't show me anything. I think signing Austin Hooper was a big addition for them. I think he's good. I think he'll be helpful because they haven't had a tight end that's actually viable in the last few years. So overall, I think this is helpful. I think that they might go for a guy like Cole Beasley. I think Cole Beasley it should be and isn't a top commodity. I honestly think he is a really, really good slot receiver for a team and just a decent, um, you know, uh, just a good vet to have on your team. So how does this affect the Rams? Well, it doesn't really. Allen Robinson kind of just switches off with Robert Woods. I think they're going to sign Odell. They'll have Van Jefferson there if they haven't signed him already. I think the Rams will be just fine. I think the biggest loss for the Titans was losing Roger Saffold, their left guard. He's a stud. And you just lost your whole left side of the line. Taylor Lewan, a great player. He was injured near the end of the year. You lost you lost Jack Conklin on the right. Ben Jones, I think, just re-signed, but that's about it. I just think you lose the really big part of your inner part of your line. So hopefully they can address that. If they address that, I think, that helps Derrick Henry in a lot of ways. I mean, Henry's going to run through people, but you got to be able to make holes to be able to run through. So Henry's a one cut guy. You need the hole and you need good blockers. So we'll see what they do. The Tennessee Titans. I've always liked them. I always, I have a little soft spot for Mike Vrabel, even though he was a Patriot. I like his intensity. I like him as a coach. Always been a good guy. Never really thought of him as like anything, crazy, but Tyler going, where do you see James Conner ending up finishing for redraft this year with Edmonds' departure? He's the only guy I queue before any draft because I feel like he falls too far. Okay. So where do I think he ends up finishing for redraft this year? Where his ADP will be? That's a good question. So, from what I keep seeing, he keeps going where, like third, fourth round. I think third, fourth, maybe. I think fourth round would probably be the best, spot for him. He's probably going to go in the third, just because, it's based on the system you use. If you're the type to go 2 wide receiver in the first 2 picks, you're probably going to go Connor as your third. If you go 2 running backs and a wide receiver and he's available in the fourth, you'll probably take him there. To me, he's a decent RB2. I think he's someone that can be consistent throughout the year, especially with Edmonds gone. I don't think Edmonds really affected too much because he did well even with him there, and he did well with him without him. So I like James Conner. The only thing, I mean, they built and lost things. Like they lost Christian Kirk. They lost who else did they lose? They lost some other guy. They lost their guard Max Garcia, but they filled it in with Will Hernandez, which I'll be the first to tell you lost that. Okay. I'm gonna have a Giants moment here. When the Giants drafted Saquon Barclay at the 2, it was an emotional day. It was. We got a stud running back. He did well his first year. I was really, really happy with that. But year goes by, does okay. And then all of a sudden, I- the year goes throughout the whole thing. Nick Chubb has a good year. I come to find out that we could have drafted Quinn Nelson at 2 and Chubb in the second round, and I would have preferred it. I think Quinn Nelson's probably one of the best linemen in the game, if not the best offensive lineman in the game. He is a downhill runner. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. I personally think that he is a huge talent. I thought he was a big talent just coming in general, and yet we go with Saquon Barclay. Now, I'm always a proponent to getting someone like Quentin compared to a running back who's going to depreciate in value. He's a running back in the draft as a rookie in the draft, regardless of who they are, in some shape, way, or forms, are like cars. They depreciate after you draft them. It's like you take the car off the lot, it automatically starts depreciating in value. Linemen are way better. They last longer. They are worth more your time. So I never understood that. That was Gettleman. I just so glad he's gone. But anyway, for the James Conner. See, I can go on rants, so I apologize. You guys, who did you guys end up losing? You lost Jordan Hicks, which I was like, why did you do that? You signed Zach Ertz to a new deal, signed James Conner. You re-signed Colt McCoy. I thought that was a good move. You re-signed Max Williams. Good. You have your 2 tight ends. Works great. You ended up picking up Nick Vigil, who I like as well, and Will Hernandez. So you didn't lose too much, but you didn't gain too much either. I think that he'll do fine. I think Kyler helps him a lot. I think that they need to resign. Oh, that's who they did. They lost AJ Green technically because he hasn't resigned yet. So, I mean, they only have Rondale Moore. They lost Christian Kirk. Rondale Moore is a great player, but him as a number 2 wide receiver on that team, I don't think is a good option. They have that other guy. I forgot his name offhand. It starts with a W. I think Weston or something like that. I think that they're going to have to pick somebody up or do something with their wide receivers to make Conner a little bit, give him more opportunity. But I think the offense is good enough that he can survive in it and do well. So him finishing up at the end of the year, for Conner, where do I see him? I think he's going to probably be in the top. He'll be in that top 20 group, but I think he's going to be mid top 20. Not mid, like the end of the 20. Like he's going to be anywhere between 15 and 20. I think that's just where he'll end up. He's going to regress. He's not, I don't think he has the ability to stay at, I think, what did he finish? Running back 5, if memory served me right. In half PPR, I think he was running back 5. Hold on. I'll tell you in 1 second where it was. Oh, my internet works today. Yay. The little things in life, people. The little things in life. A beer and internet. As long as you have those things, you're good to go. Yeah, finishes running back 5. So I hope he has a good year. I really do. So if you guys that are watching, I got 5 of you out there, which I'm glad that you guys are here spending time with me. Oh, for those who don't know, which I didn't get an opportunity to do this before. So for those who are watching, if you're new, check these guys out. Check them out. This is Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is a fantasy football website, which honestly, they're fantastic. We used them all last year. I highly recommend them. I have now given my brother an addictive new toy that he now uses very often and loves it. So he's definitely my spokesman for it. But make sure you guys use promo code get right here. There we go. Use the promo code right there. And when you do, they will match whatever you put in for your first deposit. Make sure you guys use the link in the description to register at Underdog. That will help you the most to get the promo code. Make sure you guys use that. Also, make sure, of course, to like and subscribe. I mean, come on. I think I did a good job. I think we had a good time here. I think I had some good insight, but that's just me. But make sure you guys like, subscribe to the show. Make sure you guys make comments. Comment on how I did. If you liked what I did, what I had to say, agree with it, disagree with it, believe me, I'll make sure I answer on there. Don't worry, it's fine. Anything you guys want, please mention it. I love the interaction, so please leave me a comment, like, and subscribe to the show. Also, check out in the description the link for an invite to our private sleeper channel. It's a great channel. You get guys, well, I don't know if you guys have joined yet, but you get a great group of guys that are in there, the OGs of the group, guys that have been here from day one who are just as crazy about fantasy football as I am. Fantasy football is literally every day of my life. Just know that. My girlfriend hates it. It's fine, but she loves me, so makes everything easier. But at the end of the day, fantasy football is life. These are the same type of guys that are like that. They are all in there thinking about fantasy football at all the time. Also in that private channel, I do injury news during the year for you guys. So weeks 1 through, I don't know, 18 or 17 or whatever it is, I will give you guys injury updates. Now, I love to beat Sleeper. Like, that's my goal every day, is to beat Sleeper with news. So that's what I do. I give you guys injury updates. I get you guys the quickest information as possible. And we got Rasta in there, always available. Me, him, Frank, Dustin, everybody's in there. We'll answer all your questions. Anything that you need, we're here to help you guys. We're here to help you guys win your leagues. We want you to win your leagues. We want someone like Patrick to come back and say, hey, I won because of you. You gave me information that helped me win. So we're getting to that point. Unless anyone has any other questions, like I said, I'm here until you guys have nothing to talk about, because I'm here for you, the listener. I'm here for you guys. I'm here for you guys to talk to for the rest of the night if you guys want. That's what I'm here for. So if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to wrap things up. So, like I said, check out our channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And like I said, we're going to be back after the NFL draft, maybe beforehand if I feel like it. But we will definitely be back after the drafts, the NFL draft. We will start doing the Friday night mocks, and we will start getting those done. Tyler says, thanks again for setting it up. Have a good one until next mock. That's right, brother. We are going to be back, like I said, after the NFL draft. We're going to start doing this every Friday night, mocking with you guys. We're going to change it up every week, too. We're not going to just do one or two. And you know what? There are going to be times where we're going to do 2 in one night. I mean, I've done that, too. We've done everything. So we're going to mix it up. We're going to have some fun, get you guys involved, get you into draft season, which is always right after the draft. And we're going to try to do this for you guys every week to get you guys ready for your leagues for the year. And then during the year, we're going to be here to help you win that league. All right. So great talking to everybody. Great seeing everybody. Thank you for all that who drafted. Tyler, Michael, thank you so much for being here to help me out tonight. And you know what? Till next time, we'll see you.